Cosmic Quadringle back at it again.
Billy Bum.
Yeah.
I've just been hearing these distant impersonations of a Jamaican voice in my head, like brrrr, pop, 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 pop.
Big up them
Big
youth.
up, yo. And I don't know where it was coming from until I showed up today and figured out.
A Billy
It's the
Billy Bum.
unfortunate reality of being friends with Joey and being psychically connected to him. Now I just have to
It was
hear.
both of us.
To be fair, me and Sean both adopted this great accent of the
We
Jamaican accent.
were on a long car ride, and you were in a separate car from us. And you said you were hallucinating like the last half hour
We
of
were.
it. Same thing with us, but we were just staying in that voice, and you must have literally fucking heard us in your head. It's insane.
Yeah, it is
We were just
insane.
goofing off so hard, so high on edibles.
Oh
Just
my
like,
God.
Billy Bum. Do. I don't even know.
Oh my god, it's literally been haunting me. You have no idea. It's been the incessant song I could not get out of my head.
It's your
Like,
dubstep.
why is this ground floor right now for me? Like,
A Billy Bum.
You never know. We don't know either. We're just
No.
standing by.
Exactly.
Right now, we're receiving the messages. We'll interpret them later.
We can't bother to really try and analyze them.
ay, ay, ay.
Holy shit.
We just got back.
We just got back from our first camping trip all together.
Yes, first
Yeah.
camping
Big
trip all
boy
together.
shoes. It was
Yeah.
fun.
First of many, hopefully.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think it's got to be the new way of life. I think I was averse to camping my whole life because of my parents. And what the fuck?
We had so much fun. We were working out all the time, playing basketball. You basically like from the moment you got there, it seemed like you lived there. It was like you're so
Mare was
comfortable.
of the forest. She was definitely.
No, but it was
I'm
actually
a wildcat,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah, but yeah, no, it was really that was so sweet. And everywhere we went, the caves and like it was just so sweet.
Yeah,
Everybody-
we went to. I'm not trying to blow up this spot, but the
No.
church can know about it.
Yeah.
Nelson Ledge's Quarry Park
Yeah.
in Ohio. Holy shit!
Yeah.
What a fucking magical place.
Mm-hmm.
I literally, while we were high on Molly, had the thought of like, oh, this is Eden. This is my Eden. Like I feel like one with nature out here. I
Mhm.
feel a piece of God.
Yeah.
It's really it's a really special place. It's trippy as hell. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like me and Joey, I think we're like being put through. I wish there was a better way to put it, but like being put through like the spiritual ringer in terms
Yeah.
of like. I feel like the first time we went there, we realized, yo, this place is like karmically charged.
Yeah, for sure.
If you're on your bullshit, it's going to reflect back hard and quick.
Mhm.
And we realized that a couple weeks ago when we went there, so we went back this time. Not only are we like, we're trying to treat everyone right, we're trying to say the right thing, we're trying to do the right thing, we're cleaning up the land, we're treating the thing right, but then you get to a level where you're really monitoring even your thoughts.
Yeah.
You don't want to even indulge. And it's such good practice for life because if you can fucking mentally kind of just hijack the negative shit and
Mhm.
take it into PMA, positive mental attitude,
Yeah.
that's the golden ticket. But out there's a good training ground for it.
For
Holy
sure.
shit.
For sure. And that immediate like karma was like it really was, and maybe it is just of the mind, or maybe it is just of the fact that you're so viscerally like close to your surroundings and environment that it is reflecting so fast, and like of course it's gonna happen because you're that close and you're just
That's true.
you know in the vicinity. But yeah, we're in the same like 2 miles for like a week. Yeah. And it's like at some point it's like it just reflected so fast, and it was yeah, that was wild. You had to be careful. I would pick up trash because I was scared.
Me
I
too.
was like, I didn't want to disrespect
Me
the
too.
woods.
Yep.
Yeah, we're all just so much more psychically connected now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been paranoid about my thoughts around people for a while now, to the point that like, I'll have a week where I'll just give myself a hard time for thinking like a bad thought around like the single person. It'll just be for a second, but I'm like,
Yeah.
why did I do that? Why did I have that moment of judginess around them? You know what I mean? And then I'll try and recover it the rest of the time when I'm with them by saying nice things about them in my head.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's like
That's true.
Pisces paranoia or something.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a gift,
Yeah.
really, because it shows you some things you could work on.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. But yeah, it definitely feels like there's a level of awareness there that's required because it's like you're in a certain dimension.
Mm-hmm.
You're in a certain frequency and there's
Yeah.
like certain values being upheld. And if you go against the grain, it feels pretty obvious.
I think also the fact that the place is run by wooks.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
There's like a no bullshit like you feel it as soon as you get there. You're like, oh, this isn't a bullshit place. Like even the staff, they're not trying to fucking flirt around and fuck around. Like they're just right to the point type of people. It's fucking amazing.
Well, they take care of the necessities. Like, you know, I mean, during the music festival, obviously there's like 2,000 people there and probably the same number of staff, maybe a little more. Yeah. But it's like, you know, some of the porta potties in the woods got a little like.
A little gnarly.
A little janky.
But
janky. And, but yeah, it's like they still held it down. Like the water's, you can always get water.
Yeah.
You can always.
It's kept up so nice. Yeah. They really do keep up
Lifeguard,
the place so nice.
There's people like guarding you while you're jumping off cliffs. Like, yep, you can go. You know, like, and not giving you shit. You're smoking a bowl. Like, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the landfill is really charged and just cosmically magical and almost like a vortex, and the people there bloom up as these like unhuman characters, you know.
Absolutely, like
creatures of the void.
You couldn't picture them existing anywhere else.
Yeah.
Like, how would you function out here? Like, that's fucking insane. And
yeah.
There is no other place. I interviewed a guy on our way out.
Yeah.
I was like, how do you end up like this? And he just said necessity. That's it. That was his answer. Yeah. And he's like, you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Because he didn't mean it like, oh, this is my last bottom dollar.
No.
He's kind of like, I mean, I'm sure there's some of that, but it's like, he was like, you have to live like this is a great way to live.
He's like, I'm a freak. I'm a cowboy. Totally. Like, I fucking just like playing these songs and hanging out in nature. Like,
we were a week in and we're like, this is dope. This is awesome. That guy's probably years in.
Yeah.
Yeah. When you guys were originally talking about Wooks being like about younger people, I just remember thinking to myself in general, like, God, old people are so interesting though, and especially in what you're trying to do. Like, it's the old people in that realm that have like they've been doing it. They're serious about it. It's not like novelty for them. It's not like a phase they're going through and like discovering themselves, and it's like a performative thing. It's like those are the real people that like really do believe those things and really do live that.
Those people are going to legitimize this way of life through this film. The fact that we got them and we got people that are
elders,
decades into this lifestyle.
Yeah.
Still holding it down.
Yeah. Wizards, witches, warlocks.
Yeah.
So we did a little, on the heels, like we went out and we filmed a day at Fish, and Joey and I talked about that in depth on Boys Club, which is our secret podcast only on the Patreon.
Billy bum.
Patreon.com/Church of Chill. Check out the newest Boys Club, and we edited together an intro. It's really cool. So we talked about the Fish show and all that stuff, but then right after the Fish show, we went and camped at Nelson. We started camping at Nelson Ledges, and we just like last second, just kind of Hail Mary pass, like, yo, we're going to be out there if anyone wants to get together and do like a micro impromptu space camp. And the right motherfuckers, as always.
Oh, did they?
Fucking show up and come from mad far away and
driving
like
17 hours.
Yeah, through thick and thin, taking flights, borrowing
Someone
shit.
just deciding that morning they'll go, like a couple. They're like, yeah, we'll go.
Oh my God. I
that was my favorite addition, honestly.
Literally I was just talking to Kyra on the phone. Like, they made my trip so much better than being there. Like, it was just so
they
sweet.
Were the best.
Yeah, they were cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had a really special group of people.
But yeah, it went.
Everybody that needed to be there, and can't wait to have more.
Can't
wait for it to be bigger.
Yeah.
You know.
Yep. It was only delayed by 30 minutes because of Kyra's dabs, though. But then, then we took it. And then it was like,
yeah, the dabs definitely set a delay on like every activity, but they definitely also ramp it up to a new fun level.
They do.
You make sacrifices.
I'm glad
for the
that I don't fuck around with those on the day to day.
Yeah,
because it's so easy to be like, let me just rip a dab before I do this thing. And
I'm getting into it.
I know. Mare started hitting it, and she's like, I'm getting into
I could
this.
see you were.
Well, that's because but you were saying like the day, like it's more of a daytime high. It's more of a productive high.
Yeah, it is.
And a Virgo loves to work.
Like, I think in like the circle of being high, it like whips you back around 360, whereas like smoking weed is just like a 180 almost.
Yeah. That's why Connor says that all the time. He's like, it's like a cleaner way to smoke, and it's also better. The high is better. Sicker.
So do you want to talk about what we did, Cass? We'll get a word in.
Yeah, let's get you. Sorry,
let's get you in
shooting
here.
out.
I love it.
I know.
I love it. I love camping.
Look, give us some context. What did we do out there? Let's tell a little story.
Well, it sounds like you guys just did. I mean, I think I think what there is to say is I'm ready to live in the woods. And I didn't need a shower when I got back. And I
Really?
don't need I might need a more comfortable like sleeping setup, just to make it work where I can like keep the covers on me, but other than that, like I'm ready.
Yeah.
Yeah, you were saying, you were like, let's just camp out here all summer next summer and
Yeah.
just tell people like, yeah, here's where we are. Come find us or whatever.
Yeah, I just want to spend my days like swimming in a fresh water and collecting firewood and making food and
Having weird, deep ass conversations with people.
Just just
listening to
strangers.
people play music and strum on their guitar and build a fire.
Mm-hmm.
It's like pretty idyllic. I'm all about it.
It's very refreshing. And on top of it, we were all probably overdue for a Mali trip.
Yeah.
I think everyone in
Yep.
the whole group, and there was a handful of people that had never even done it before.
Mm-hmm.
But even like all of us,
I had to convince some people to do it.
Yeah.
I mean, we all
you're
did.
so cute.
But like, it's like one of those things that like I know I dosed it right. I know it's gonna like it was a couple that was like, I don't know, we're not sure. Like we just decided this morning to even come. Like, what are you gonna give us, some drug we've never tried before? And they did, and they didn't regret it though.
No, we were all telling them like it's gonna be awesome.
God, if they did regret it,
Oh.
we'd
I'd
be
feel
probably in a
terrible.
different mood right
Yeah,
now.
I'd be like, oh
You know
man,
what
they
I
had a
mean?
bad time. They
Feel
were
like-
freaking out.
We're sitting here beating ourselves up for having bad thoughts. Imagine
Yeah.
fucking giving someone a bad trip. Like, fuck.
I mean, you gotta trust Cass's instincts
Yeah.
100% because she dosed a stranger.
Oh, I forgot. Oh my
She
god.
has a story
But-
to tell.
I know, it's so crazy.
Well, but when you have like, even when I think of the Quarry, you're like, all right, tell a story. I'm like, I don't even know where to start.
all right, well, I'll tell you the way it starts.
So at the beginning
Yeah,
of time,
at the beginning of time, man.
hey, first there was the Big Bang, man.
Then the Quarry came, the glaciers, man.
and the rain started falling.
Then the right people show
Oh my
up.
God. And then a real rain came.
Yeah.
Yeah, but basically, like, we showed up and we held it down. We put out last-second messages to people like, we're going to be here. And the right people found us
Yep.
and came from mad far away. Our boy Cairo celebrating his first taste of freedom in 4 years from a fucking bullshit
Yep.
charge down in Florida.
Yep.
Mare drove fucking 7 hours to Virginia to take care of some bullshit charge
Yeah.
and then drove 7 hours up to us. Ari flew in from
Yeah.
mad far away. Lacey drove with her kids from 12 hours away.
Wow.
Fucking Cairo picked up a couple friends
Yep.
from the area, and we all got together, and I think it was Joey's birthday and our friend Griff's birthday.
Yeah, two Leos
Yeah.
back to back who definitely incredible, and so and in astrology, to describe the different fire signs, they'll be like Aries is like a match, and Sagittarius is like a forest fire, and Leo is like a bonfire, and all weekend we had two Leos just tending to this bonfire.
The only people that touched the
Literally,
fire.
the only people that touch the fire in the physical plane, and then also obviously holding the energetic, performative fire mostly as well.
And it's around the Lionsgate portal. So
It's
it all
around the
felt
Lionsgate portal.
like a lion's dance, like
Yeah.
in the den. Lion's
A
dance
trot.
den.
A trot.
Dance, dance.
The
Yeah.
dance and dance.
Totally.
Yeah. And it
Yeah.
also. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, it just feels like a good time to get together.
Yeah.
People are feeling good and external.
Totally. Leo season's a great time to get
Totally.
together
Great
with
time
your
to get
friends.
together.
Especially if you have Leo friends who are just like, yo,
Yeah.
fucking
Yeah.
Joey's in his flow right now.
Oh,
And
yeah.
Griff is like in the
And-
groove.
And when we have more people, it'll be fun to like perform more and stuff. We were
Yeah.
at like an intimate level where it was a little bit like,
If someone performed, it would have been a little.
I gave a
yeah,
little special
it's like we don't
K.
need to be anybody's show or whatever.
yeah.
But it'll be
would-
fun when we have more
totally.
people and we can get more groups
Can
of
set up on the
performers
stage.
together.
Mm.
I was trying to get you and Chris over to the MC place, but I
Oh,
guess it was
Special
like not
K.
going on
Yeah.
that night.
I sprinkled a little dust on
Yeah,
Special K.
you always do,
Budway.
no matter where you are.
Thank you. But no, and it also like I feel like the Molly. I mean, the forest kind of was blessing us. It was supposed to rain that day.
Yeah.
And we took Molly, and it just comes beautiful. It was already pretty nice out, but it
But
was
just
a little overcast.
it just became
Beautiful out. Then we go to the we're like, hey, there's 30 minutes left.
Well, first, like, all these people got together, and, like, I think no one really knew what we had in store, and we didn't really know, but we were all like, let's take Molly. And then
Yeah.
it just word spread, and everyone's like, cool, I'll be down. But then these new people show up. Like, they don't even know who we are. Cairo's our friend. They're just tagging along with Cairo, and they're like, they show up at the campsite, and we're ready to dose. Like, we're like, we've been waiting for you guys. Like,
They're like, we're hungry, and we're like, no,
No,
we're
you're
like,
not. Take a
Cass is
Cliff
like,
Bar.
Cass is like, don't eat.
Eat a Cliff Bar.
Don't eat. Take
I
this
was like,
instead. And they're
"Don't
like,
eat."
oh, God, I don't know. They took it. probably then me and Joey go down to get wood. So like maybe 20 minutes goes by, and then Joey's like, "Yo, the quarry's only gonna be open for another half hour. If you want to go take a dip." And I'm like, "Bro, man, this stuff's kicking in right now. I don't think I can even make it down there, let alone like all these people." I was like, "All right, let's do it quietly." And then we start tiptoeing away, and I'm like, "What are we doing?"
Yeah, you're like.
I was like, "Hey, everyone, we're going for a swim in the quarry." And literally, the fastest I've ever seen 13 people move just was like boom, boom, went down to the quarry, and we all just got in at sunset as the Molly kicked in. And
so nice.
I had the I can't imagine having a better night than that. Like, how could you possibly have a better time than what we did? You know?
Yeah.
It's crazy.
It was.
It's crazy, and it just worked on every level. Like, the new people loved it.
Yeah.
Us old heads were able to just connect and do our thing.
It was so fun.
Yeah, that was incredibly.
I did dose a
rad.
stranger on the beach.
Yeah, that was awesome.
And Sean thought that was like, he was like not happy about
the way
it
you
for a
said
second.
it obviously triggered Sean because you were like, "I met this guy Gregory. He's so nice. We dosed him. I gave him
I was
all."
like- I was
and
like,
you're like,
"Cass,
"What?" I
calm
was like,
down."
"Wait, you should have prefaced that we met this guy. He like came up. We started talking.
Yeah.
He got really deep. I didn't really want to talk to him at first. I was like, "What are you coming up here?" And then we started talking. I was like, "Oh, this guy actually is pretty cool."
Yeah.
And he seemed really nice, like a really nice, genuine guy. And then Cass was like, "So we're at K1, K2," and I was like,
Giving away our
pushing it.
campsite.
All right. I was like a little pushing it, and then he starts talking to us more, and she's like, "Well, listen, Greg.
George.
Listen, George. we have some Molly that we all took, and we'd like to give you one." He's like, "I can pay you." She's like, No, take this." And she like takes off the cap. He's like, "What do I do with it?" I was like, "Here, take my water." And then he just drops it in. He's like, "Thank you so much." And then we sent him to Rogue, and he started talking to Rogue for 3 hours. He tried to find us, ended up at someone else's campsite, and just hung out with them for the
All
night.
night, yeah. And the next day, he was just looking good, feeling refreshed.
Yep.
Like, started
Gave you
giving
guys
us
presents.
gifts. He had left the campsite, went back to his house to pick up gifts for us,
Yep.
and came back and gave them to us. So I was like, all right. I do trust Cass.
Good
I do
instincts.
trust her instincts, but sometimes when we're on drugs, I'm like, I understand the instinct, and we did talk about it before. We were like, hey, we have some extras if anyone wants to do it. We said, here's the people who we don't want to dose on this, Nelson.
Yeah.
But you found a good guy to give it to.
Yeah.
I think
agree.
so.
I agree.
I think so. And yeah, you can just read people real quick.
Yeah.
And he was there alone, but like very level-headed.
Definitely. He seemed really cool.
And I think he had a great time, obviously. And I was like Rogue's angel. Every time I came over, he like doesn't necessarily remember who I am because he's got like a short-term memory thing or doesn't recognize faces or something. But I kept coming over to Rogue and like paying for people to do readings with him.
Yeah.
And because I was like, what is a better gift? Like you literally can just
You can talk to an American mystic that has set up his thing here.
Yeah.
And
like
he-
for a good amount of time for like $20.
Yeah.
And he just drops into flow. He doesn't really need to know anything about you. He just drops in. He
Fires
can.
off.
Yeah, and it's very relevant. And it's so funny because since last time we were there, we're building it up to Mare. We're like, you got to meet Rogue.
Yeah.
You're gonna fucking love this
Oh my
guy.
God, don't blow him up.
No, but this is too funny. It's too
Yeah, this
human.
is
I'm
really-
just gonna give it very
Okay.
light. Like this guy
Feel
has.
bad.
It's been nothing but like he's just been nothing but like
Awesome. Like wise.
just dropped in and wise and just giving us like, wow, just what we need. And then we're like, Mare, you got to see this guy. And she's like, great, I'm psyched. Goes over there and she's wearing a little green bikini that barely fits her. And he just
Skin
talked
color.
about it. He just talked about her body the whole time.
It's like, so you go to the gym? I'm kidding.
That was part of it at one point.
Literally.
It started off, it sounded mystical. He was like, I just imagined Leonardo da Vinci. And he goes off into this whole mystical speech just about my body. And they kept talking to me about sacred geometry. It was really interesting. Like, he kept talking to me about it, and Mona Lisa kept talking to me about it like I knew it. And it was just like an interesting, like, you think I know sacred geometry
Yeah.
because of my, like, arm span to height or whatever. And I
Yeah,
was
they were
like,
saying it to me too.
maybe there is like a wisdom of like you archetype yourself or you architect yourself or whatever, but
Wow.
it was just
Yeah.
weird and interesting. I do love Rogue though, and he is mystical and magical. And,
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I
It
mean,
was.
that night was just incredibly lit on every level. Like it was
Yeah.
just great. Like all the new people were bonding with each other,
Yeah.
and we're bonding with strangers. And the three of us and the four of us were able to
Yep.
bond with each other.
Yep.
Mare and Cass went off and did whatever you guys do. Like it was fucking awesome.
Billy, 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 bum.
I'm just saying sometimes like
Pass the coochie to the left.
sometimes like we all know this from taking Molly enough that like it's so sacred. So we always say like one the small group and then one with a big group, and it's like
Yeah.
every other one. And this was going to be a big group one, but it's so nice to be able to like for me and Joey to go and like
Totally.
solve the riddle of this movie
Yeah.
together while
Yeah.
we're in a very high place and
Yeah.
realize like the things we want to do and
Yeah.
how we want to see this kind of come together. It's very
Yeah.
it's very sacred time, and you know, as much as I like talking to strangers and connecting with people, not every time's for that for
Yeah.
me, you know?
Yeah. No, I agree.
Yeah, I love that you guys got some creative
Yeah, we
things bouncing
Whatever
around.
those guys do.
we decided to stay that night when we were high on Molly. And
Yeah.
like later in the night, I was like, wait.
Why did
I
we
just
agree to that?
Yeah, I was like, wait, is that actually what we're gonna do? Are we doing that? I was like, first of all, I'm gonna miss something, but second of all, I'm like, but it still sounds good. I was like, let's just do it. And
Yeah.
it's like,
Yeah.
yeah, it was a nice space to be in.
We usually say like no making or agreeing to things
Yeah.
while we're high.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But that felt like Cass was like, I don't think we should get up and leave tomorrow. And I was like, me neither. Mare
Yeah.
was already there.
I was like, we
you
need
know?
to get more. Like, we should get more.
Yeah, so we woke up the next day and like I felt incredible.
Yeah.
We just went right to jumping off the cliff and
Yeah.
fucking swimming around in the quarry and swam out to the island a few times.
So nice.
Yeah, just a great, like, perfect day of integration. Because the best thing, especially when you, the day after Molly, especially if you took it at night like we did, it's still in your system.
Yeah.
And it's like kind of the best part of the trip for
Yeah.
me. It's like, oh
Me
my
too.
God, my body's rested, and I
Yeah.
still get this access to this place.
Yeah.
And it was really good. It just felt like, yeah, we should keep staying here. We should keep connecting, and thank God we did, because we shot stuff for the movie. I did not think once we took drugs I'd be shooting anything for the movie.
I know, right?
But we did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know.
That was really, that was really rad.
Yeah, everybody that I wanted you guys to like get behind your camera eventually fell into place.
We just had to think
Yeah.
about them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
in the most perfect way. And
Also, Mare killed it producing. Credit.
Yeah, you did.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Cass had to step out to take someone to the airport, and me and Joey were just like post Molly day, just like a little shot energetically, and we like just finally had finished our men's work, and we like sit down at the fire, and this woman comes creeping out of the
Woods. Tanuki.
this woman comes creeping out of the woods, and like we looked at each other like, oh no, we can't handle this right now. And Mare was just like, get the camera.
I was like, oh shit. Because I was like,
Reload.
Yeah. Recalibrate. But yeah, you know, that was just sick because it like totally changed my process, because it's so easy to be lost out there in like the moment of being out there.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh wait, we're here to do something, and then like I kind of Tai Chi'd the energy of her, the Tanuki coming, and like you know, we like
Yeah.
filmed with her, and it was wild, and learned about Atlantis in Africa, and it was really it was cool.
yeah, incredible. And that was, I didn't see exactly where you guys filmed, but it was such nice light in through those trees at that time.
Mm-hmm.
Just some of the most beautiful stuff we've shot.
Yeah.
Really has been out there.
Yeah.
But I feel safer within the universe knowing it's there for me.
That place.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
You know, like it
Mhm.
feels like safe space to party. And other than the fact that I think it's really hard to have a bad time in our group, you
Yeah.
really have to be swimming upstream. I think
Yeah.
also for the newcomers that were trying this drug for the first time, I was just like, I feel like the vibe of most people here is so high. Like you probably could go further than you'd think on this space because it
Totally.
holds you in a different way energetically with
Mm-hmm.
the nature. And of
Yeah.
course you have the full spectrum of everything as always with humans, but yeah, it just seems like there's so much good intention out there of fun and levity, and
Yeah.
A lot of people have tripped there.
a lot of
You can
people have
feel
tripped
that.
there, and you can feel that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The staff has probably tripped there more than
Yeah.
the customers.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
feel like any of the staff members are like deep
Yeah.
psychedelic
oh
older
my
counsel,
God, yeah.
counselor, you know.
Yeah.
So
Like the one wook, the big one. Yeah, she
Big
like
up.
yeah, the big up one, the big up one. I feel like she's gone to like the death realm and back, and now she just like roams.
But that's what I
Nelson
mean about
Ledges.
the feeling of realness there. Like a person that's done that is not, they're just not going to suffer fools lightly. And you
Uh-uh.
can feel that there.
yeah,
And the fools that are there avoid those people because
Yeah.
you can tell they've had
Yeah.
run-ins with each other.
Yeah.
And it's
Yeah.
like,
You're like, yeah, we were nothing but we filmed with her actually.
Yeah.
Initially.
Yeah,
and
we
she was
did.
really shy. It's like usually the biggest personalities are when you get down to the deep part of them. They're like kind of a little like childish or like
Yeah,
not
totally.
childish, but you know like they closed off, a little
Protected.
shy. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. But sweet.
yeah.
Yeah. That was fucking sweet.
Yeah, nicest water I've ever swam in, and I've
Holy
swam
shit.
a lot
It's just not polluted. It's
Yeah.
just like that's all it is. Like,
They pump oxygen into it, which I don't know if I've ever been in a body of water that had oxygen pumped into it.
Oh, yeah.
So that also felt quite special.
Yeah.
I do wish we could have skinny dipped, and I do wish we could go swimming at night.
Skinny
And
dip
at
would be great.
some point, I think
Night
I'm going to
swimming
try
would
and
be
push
good.
the needle,
I
but I don't know how.
could. I think we could push the needle by being like, yo, we're showing up there with 250 people. Can
Just
we have a lifeguard on
during
duty
this-
at night?
Yeah.
Who have to wager during the summertime to have 2 months of it being 8 p.m. instead of 7 p.m. when the sun's still out?
Yeah, that's
you know
what I was
mean?
gonna
It's
say.
like, come on,
It should
Yeah.
like adjust to the
Yeah.
The light.
timescape. Yeah.
the light.
Because
Yeah.
like it wasn't dark until, but again, you got to think safety standards are like, okay, well, if you're rescuing someone as it's getting dark.
Yeah.
Everything after safety
Oh,
standards
blah,
is
blah, blah,
downhill
blah,
from
blah.
there.
Well,
Yeah.
in reality, what they could do, which would just absence them from liability, but God forbid it happens, is just say swim at your own risk. That's the best
Yes.
thing to do. If the lifeguards aren't on
course.
duty, swim at your own risk.
I'm sure there's been an era there where
That's
it
what
was
I'm saying.
that, and like
you don't want to be
it was
responsible.
horrifying.
Like yeah, we saw a person
But
die
it's,
there.
Yeah,
but
we
it's
did.
like
So-
let fucking nature run its course. Like let people fucking be
Yeah, but you
people.
don't have
Natural
to,
selection.
Yeah, but you don't have to drag that lifeless body out of the fucking thing like the staff does.
Oh, it was
They got-
terrifying.
Yeah,
It
they
was
wouldn't-
terrifying.
They wouldn't
It was
want to
like-
deal with that at night. Some drugged up person. Hey, they're in the quarry. You gotta go fucking rescue them. Like
Yeah.
at night. Like I kind of get it, but it's also and people were doing drugs there and stuff. You know, I don't know.
It just feels all in service to keeping the place accessible.
Yeah.
You know, it just feels
Yeah.
like, oh, this is what's necessary in order to keep this place like available to people.
Yeah.
Well, when you're there, you're like, and especially at the festival, you're like, damn, Live Nation must be chomping at the bit to buy this place and just fucking privatize it and like make it
Yep.
the worst whatever. And you know who works on behalf of Live Nation and all big companies? The cops.
Yeah.
So the cops go in there and raid that place, and people have little smoke shops in there. They'll confiscate all their fucking
Yeah.
bowls and stuff,
Yeah.
like unused bowls.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I think the heat's kind of on that place. Is probably why they have the regulations that they do. They're like,
Yeah.
we can't.
They've been raided by the police before.
It's like 2 weeks before we were there.
Really?
Yeah, they came through and took like everybody that was selling bowls. They just took all the glass.
What fucks?
Yeah, no. Well, Ohio's
And
still in the dark
they
ages.
like searched all the people there.
I don't know. I didn't hear about
I
that.
doubt that.
That's
I
another
did-
level.
I doubt that. I
Yeah.
doubt they would go through every campsite. Be like, what do you
Yeah.
guys got?
But they could if they wanted to.
Yeah, if they had the time.
Yeah.
But yeah, that is wild. I mean, it is crazy when you think about how we happened upon it. Griff sort of just mentioned it, and you guys were like, "All right, let's go."
Yeah.
Like before that, there was no space again for like space camp or like whatever you
No.
want to do,
Yeah.
like gathering. And it's like that. It's such a
We were
a-
Space Camp orphans. We didn't
Yeah.
really know where to go and set up shop.
It was so nice. It's like this is like a plentiful like place full of blessings and like the caves. That was so magical. I want to go back there for sure.
So
That was just so cool.
So rad. And even the I was just thinking about the karma of like we did a boys club as soon as we got there, and like we start rolling, and I'm like, by the way, I hate kids. And you're like, you do? I'm like, yeah, man, those kids that were fucking heckling you and like fucking throwing rocks and like being weirdos down there. Like I can't stand kids. Like I just don't want to be around them or whatever. And then Lacey brings her kids, and I'm like, kids are great.
Yeah, dude,
So
those
it's like-
kids were awesome.
Like it's nice to have some
Well, that
kids
was
around.
positive karma in that
Yeah.
way. Then it's like, oh, you think you don't like something? Here's like,
Well, here's a good example of how dope they can be. Like those girls were so fun to be around. Like, yeah, I guess it kind of makes the vibe a little more PG, a little more. But they could they were.
it's
hanging
hard to
with us.
stop you though, Joey.
Yeah,
Joey comes out with his fake.
you gave me that.
Cass gives Joey while
I
we're
didn't wanna
peeking on
mention
Molly. While we're peeking on Molly, Joey comes over to me wearing those shorts and just lifts them up a little bit, and there's just like a cock,
Like a
big skin flesh-colored cock,
Yeah.
and I'm like,
Can we
What
also
the
mention that we
fuck?
met a guy though before that
that was
inspired
carrying around a
Cass?
dildo this big.
A drunk polo player, the Mad Lads.
Yeah.
Yes, they they fucking. But yeah, then the dick came out, and then I realized once Sean said,
I was like,
Bro,
you might not
can't-
want to
You
fuck
don't
around.
wanna fucking put. And I was like, there were
There's
kids,
kids everywhere.
behind me, and I was
Yeah.
like, you're right. I shouldn't pull out a fake.
But I guess
flesh-colored-
sometime during our Molly trip, I don't know when, Cass goes and buys a fake dick for Joey of all people.
So funny. Honestly, it's one of my favorite memories from the trip though.
It is fucking
Just
hilarious.
Cass like full on just blissful in her face and puppy dog eyes, and she's like, I got you a present. I'm like, why? And she throws a dick at me. I was like, what?
You're the perfect guy for that,
It was
man.
so funny.
Oh,
Well, because I
God.
went to the general store and I was like, it's my friend's birthday. Like, I want to get him something.
I wanna get him a
Is
sex
there anything
present.
I should get him? And they hold up this like dick, and I was like, no, I can't do this. I was like, I don't want to do this.
Then you're like,
And
actually.
but then the next day comes, we're on Molly. You're holding some other guy's dick, and I'm like, Joey needs his own dick. And I was like, I know where to get him
I
one.
do need my own dick. I'm
Oh
tired
my
of
God.
I'm tired of not having one.
Cass became a twisted joker
Yeah,
out
she
there
did.
after all.
She
You
did.
spent enough time in those woods.
Scared me with the cricket.
Oh man.
Oh,
Well,
yeah.
Okay, well,
The-
we should talk about this.
Oh yeah, this is
Joey, out of nowhere, initiates a prank war.
which I was so weary in a weird sense because I was like, I'm getting off so like scot free, just scaring Sean and Cass on this road trip, like hiding behind walls.
We're so easy to scare. American
Yeah.
testify to this shit.
You
She
guys
literally. What did I get scared of that night? And we wouldn't stop laughing about it.
The zipper just like fell into a
A
different
zipper.
place.
Like a zipper on a pillow, just so like went like, and I was like, oh! I'm like fucking.
He almost fell over totally.
I was so I'm so easily scared. That's why we don't watch
Yeah.
scary movies.
I made made sure I wasn't gonna like spook them, like yell at them, but I did like I'd be like Sean, and they'd be like, oh! And then one night I got Sean I think twice.
You got me like 2-3
Yeah.
times, and
Like
and I was
innocently, like kind of like not premeditated. Like just
Yeah.
in the moment, you're like, oh, I
Yeah,
could stand here and
do it.
scare him.
Yeah, and then I see Cass in the car, and I was like, Sean, should I do this little boogie woogie? And he's like, yeah. And,
Oh, you
pointing at
gave
him.
consent?
Kind of.
I didn't know
I didn't know
about this.
how scared you would get
Yeah.
from that. I
Yeah.
thought you could hear us,
Yeah.
And
And it wasn't like he wasn't like I was like, I'm about to go scare Cass. He's like, haha. It wasn't like
It wasn't
do
big
this.
premeditated.
Yeah. And
at
then
all.
I like put the flashlight on strobe, and I was like, oh, and I like banged on the window and scared the fuck out of you.
And that's
then-
when I was like,
Switched into overdrive.
you can fuck with it's
It's-
prank me once,
Shame on me.
shame on me. Prank my girl, I don't. Point is,
Psyops.
don't prank my girl.
Now watch this drive.
No, I did get right into psyop.
Yeah, you did.
I dropped into psyop mode at that point, and I woke up later that night. I said to Cass, I was like, I think I have the perfect way to fuck with Joey. And mine aren't going to be pranks. It's not
No.
going to be like, ooh, boogie. Like it's going to be something that's going to kind of fucking really get you. But I did.
Yeah.
So it starts off with like you went to take one of our friends out, and I knew you were going to be coming on a long walk back in the dark.
Well, the reason we even started thinking about it is because we were like,
We're like, Joey's going to scare us. He's going to come out of the dark right now and scare the shit out of us. So I was like, let me
wasn't
beat
my
him to it.
plan, but then I saw the opportunity. I was like, I'm walking back. They don't know where I am, and I turned off my flashlight. And I was like, nah. I was like, what if something jumps out at me? Let me do a quick like survey. I was like, reload. And I looked around the forest, and
Night
there's
vision.
nothing there. And then and nothing's there. I turn off my flashlight. I'm like, I'm gonna fucking get these guys. And then
And I'm watching you. I'm hiding, watching you be like, trying to get into Twisted Joker mode.
What sound did you make? You're like,
Oh, I came, so like I saw you turn off the flashlight and then like start to creep up, and I came out and I went,
yeah, that's what it was. And I was like, ah!
yeah, it
I got
you.
so scared, and
Yeah.
I was like, "Oh my god, that's so funny." That would scare the fuck out of me. That's my karma. That really did. And you were like,
I was
this-
like,
I heard shit when I was out there. You
Oh
were
yeah,
like-
no. So like your heart's still racing, and I'm like, we're getting ready for bed at this point, and I'm like, hey Joey, help me out with this thing, and I'm like, yo, when I was, this is all
Yeah.
bullshit. Well, I was like, when I was hiding to scare you, I got scared myself because there's definitely something out there. I was like, there's something out there. This is where this full psyop mode started. And I'm like, there's definitely something out there. I don't know if it's a coyote or a dog or a rabid something or whatever.
It's like,
and he's like,
alright,
oh, you're like, okay, whatever. I don't know
I
what
know,
you're
I was
talking about. Meanwhile, I had known that I planted a Bluetooth speaker out in the woods, like right behind your tent, and I already had queued up crazy rabid snarling dogs.
And I was like, I started to hear dogs, and I was like, oh, I was frozen, and I hear like, and I was like, I turn off my flashlight, and I'm laying there, and I'm like, it'll go away. And it's like, I was like,
Just
that's
getting
gonna-
louder.
Yeah, I'm like, and then all of a sudden I realized
Big
this
up.
tent is the only thing separating me between me and a rabid dog. And I'm like, Sean, what's outside my tent? And then you guys are cracking up.
Everyone starts laughing.
And then I put the flashlight on, and it's a fucking Bluetooth speaker, and I had already shit myself.
That's an open source camping prank. Try it.
Good
It's
one.
a good one, and
then-
especially if you keep it going. If I would have done it the way I wanted to, which would have been wait an hour.
because
till
we
you're
were up
actually-
and
so
laughing,
scary.
like, you know, for
No
him
one
to
would have been
eat-
laughing. You would have
No.
just been by yourself.
I-
But we were even just like joking around while Joey's going, Sean, what's outside my tent? Like he knew that you were still awake. Like if he thought you were asleep, he
know.
wouldn't be going, Sean. He'd just be there crapping himself.
It could have been.
I might have let out a yelp. Sean, just a little one, to see if they wake up. And then there's the two like micro pranks after that. I was like high as fuck. I think on Molly. Yeah, about to get something out of my tent, and then I like grab around, and I'm like, ah! And it was like a fucking grasshopper, and I was like, because there was grasshoppers, we would fucking get high, and they'd jump in the fire, and they were huge, and then I was like, oh. Now I can do the smart. I was
Well,
like,
because I bought it at the general store because I was looking for a present for you, and then I saw this like giant cricket thing.
and I was like, all right, well, I can do one, two things. I can go out laughing like, oh my god, guys, you got me. I was like, or I can not let them know that I saw it, and I'll sneak it into Sean's drug bag.
Now you're pranking.
And so I sit next to Sean, and I'm like, oh, sure, Sean, put your stuff on the cajon. It's fine. And then he puts it there, and I was like, zzz, and I put it in there because I thought Sean pranked me. And so he's like opening the drug thing, and he's like, oh!
Yeah.
It's just so funny.
You got me.
Too good, too good.
But that's how
Now
you know
we're
you're an
even.
expert pranker. It's like when your karma comes for you,
Yeah.
don't react.
Yeah.
Don't tell anyone.
That's the
Nothing.
point.
Like
That's a
Jesse
good
was
point.
good because I've told you, and I don't even want to say on here. I've spent a whole summer fucking with Jesse. He never even told me. I never got the satisfaction. You know what I mean? Like that's the whole thing. You cannot give the person
so
fucking
good.
with you the satisfaction.
So it's so true.
Damn, man. Yeah, it was just a really good fucking groovy ass time.
The best prank I ever pulled was our buddy Evan fell asleep on our couch, as he would do many times. Like, he'd come over, we'd get really high, and he'd just he'd pass out, and we'd just go to bed. But one night he went to bed, and
He didn't go to bed. He passed out, splayed out on our couch. And
whatever. That was
I
his
live
bed.
1 minute away.
He lives a short walk away, and so I took tongs and put like some ice cubes on his crotch because he's wearing cargo pants or
They're
something.
like he'll get cold
That's
and wake
so
up.
good.
You know?
Like thinking like, oh, and then but it like
So
I was like, or he'll think he peed his pants.
Yeah, that's funny.
And it like worked so perfectly.
it paid off so fucking well.
Why?
The next day he calls me, and he's like, "Dude," he's like, "I didn't leave your place till fucking 6:30 in the morning." I'm like, "Yeah, we got pretty high," and he's like, "I fucking pissed myself." I just died. I died. I've never seen a prank pay off so well.
That's
just like
so
that, this
good.
guy was going around. he's
Because
like,
by the time he woke up, it was wet in his
Yeah.
boxers, but dry on where the ice came down. Like it just all.
because it was hours later, and he was like, his underwear were soaked, but nothing else was,
That's a
and he's
great
like, I
prank.
fucking pissed myself on this guy's couch, and he admitted it to me.
That's a great prank.
Yeah, it was really good.
What's even better is I don't even think we ever told him about the ice cube.
Yeah.
No, I told him
Oh, you did?
right then and there, 'cause it was too funny.
Yeah.
I already had the payoff, and
Yeah.
I was just like, oh no, dude, we put a fucking ice cube on your cock, no big deal.
My friend
normal.
passed out in it must have been like college or high school. It was like back in town. He fell asleep, and he had work the next morning, and he woke up at 8 a.m, and he didn't he just got up and he had to go to work, and he was hungover, and he gets in the car, and there's just a Snapchat, and he says fuck my friends, and he just had thick permanent Sharpie
Holy
on his face
shit.
and a fake mustache, and I forget a dick on his face or something, and he had to go to work.
God.
It was so bad. He didn't realize until he got there, and we're like,
Oh
oh
my
my
God.
I didn't draw on him, but it was really fun.
Once we had a guy, this annoying kid at the deli. I've talked about him before. He's just was such a fucking idiot.
This one's gross.
And we fucked with him all. No,
Oh,
not
okay.
even that.
Okay.
Dude, I did so many psyops at the deli.
Wow.
This guy once, where we are, we'd park. All my friends would meet up here, and we'd walk up to the cemetery and party. And he parked his car here once. Forgot he parked his car here, and we went up to the cemetery. And then he goes up to the deli and forgets his car's here, and he thought it was at the deli. And he's like, "What the fuck?" And he reports the car stolen and accuses the biggest local drug dealer to the cops. So the cops are questioning this dude, and turns out he left the car here. The cops come to my door. I'm already asleep at 4 a.m, and they're like, "Yo, your friend, is his car here?" I'm like, "Yeah, it's fine." He's like, "Your friend's wild." He said, "We don't understand his punk rock culture." I was like, "Yeah, he's an idiot, whatever." So it was great. It was in the police blotter in the newspaper. A kid lost his car and reported it stolen, and we just made photocopies and put it everywhere. But anyway, one day he comes in, and he's he's not working. He's just hanging out there, and I'm working. And as soon as he walks in, I don't know what came over me. I was just like, "The cops are looking for you."
Oh.
He's like, "What?" I'm like, "Yeah, man, I don't know, something with a girl at a party or something that happened a few weeks ago." And he turns white as a ghost. He's like, "Are you serious?" I'm like, "Yeah, man." And whoever I was working with backed it up. And he just went and turned himself.
Well, for a crime he didn't commit.
Yeah, he went down. He's like, "I heard you guys are looking for me." And they're like, "No, but who are you?"
Yeah. Oh my God. He's like, Sean at the deli told me.
Oh my God.
That's so.
Another
funny.
time we were going to I used to rob Blockbusters. I had a fake card, so I'd go to faraway Blockbusters, rent every movie and video game I wanted, and just never returned it. And on top of it, we couldn't help ourselves. We're like, let's throw a stink bomb in there too.
Oh my god.
And this fucking kid was my accomplice one of these times, and he just did not know how to be slick about a stink bomb. We walk into this Blockbuster, I'm checking out, everything's good, and he just smashes a stink bomb on the ground. The worker just comes around from the thing and grabs him. It tries to grab him. He goes running. Worker calls the cops. He's hiding in the woods behind this fucking Blockbuster in another town. And so, like, the three of us that had driven him there are kind of waiting, and the cops are questioning us, and we're all saying we don't know his name or whatever. This motherfucker's just hid in the woods all night. And we held our ground.
Wow.
We were like, yeah, I don't know. We don't really know him. We don't know him that well or whatever. But, like, the amount of trouble that this kid attracted and got us into, I had to say, you're on the fringes now. But it's also just to explain why he deserves to, like, have to go turn himself in.
I had some friends like that. Yeah, they were the worst.
Yeah.
They're always just like, they'd be the guy that just takes it, like, I take it too far.
A fucking herb.
Yeah, but they took it too far. It's like, dude, it's not even funny at that
Damn,
point.
if Joey's saying that there's people that take it too far, can you imagine, Mare?
know
Like,
where
can you imagine?
What dimension these people are in.
Anton, that kid was wild. Frank, these kids are wild.
Oh, man. Connecticut's got some wild boys.
I
do.
guess so.
They do.
Well, they have nothing to do up there.
Exactly. Literally nothing but woods and trouble. And
The suburban shenanigans must be off the charts in a place like Connecticut.
Oh, totally. I
You know?
popped this kid's tire.
What?
It was dumb. We were getting high waiting for edibles, and this kid, John Dowd, who was so annoying, he would just follow us, like, literally after school, like, follow us in a car to hang out with us. Because, like, no one
Sounds
really,
like such a sad story.
no one, I know, it was kind of sad. And no one, like, he was just really kind of annoying, but he kept following us. And I had stolen a 13-inch, like, butterfly knife from this kid in school for no reason. I was like, I found it in his backpack, and I was like, this is mine. And I was like, this is awesome. Or it was like a big switchblade. It was like 13 inches, literally this big. And I was just fucking around with my friend, and we're high as fuck. And I'm at his tire, and I was like, he was on the other side, and I was doing it to my friend, like, oh, I'm going to stab it. And then I actually stabbed it by accident.
Then did you have to, like, break into character, like, yeah, I meant to do that?
It went and, like,
Oh
it
my
exploded,
God.
and he's like, did you pop my tire? And then I was like, no, dude, I think you hit a curb. And, like, I had hit the
Oh
knife. I was
my
like, I didn't
God.
do it. And he runs up and does, like, literally a jumping, like, jumps in the air and tries to punch me. And I'm like, what are you doing, John?
You just
Yeah, I just, and but then he, yeah, I felt bad. But then he, like, called me the next day. I was fucking freaking out because he's like, my parents said that it is a puncture wound, so we have to get it surveyed by the police. So give me the knife that you had that day. And I was like,
Joey.
oh my God. So I called up Zach Arkins, my friend, and I was like, yo, do you have a knife? Like, I just need a knife. Just give me a knife. And he, like, gave me a knife, and I gave it to him. Mind you, he saw I had a 13-inch switchblade, and I gave him, like, a 4-inch knife, and then they got tested.
What was the idea of? Oh, like that was your proof that you didn't do it.
Yeah, because, like, the blade was wider than the actual hole.
Oh, okay. It's like OJ when he tried
It
to put on
was
the
dumb.
glove in
It was
court.
so
He's like,
dumb.
I can't fit
It
it.
was
If the
so
gloves
dumb.
don't fit, you must acquit.
Yeah, exactly.
That's it.
Exactly.
The knife does not match this puncture wound.
It was just
couldn't
dumb.
have been me.
It was dumb.
I know I was squatted down next to your tire with a 13-inch knife, but it couldn't have been me because
Wasn't
look,
me.
this was the knife.
That's the type of shit we were. It was a cold day and a winter day. We were just,
Oh,
like,
yeah.
popping our friends' tires.
Yeah, man. That was like.
And that was the day you were like, I will not take it too far from here on out.
No, I still took it pretty far.
Well, I'm trying to take the lessons of Nelson out to the real world because I think it felt really nice to be in that state of grace with nature and like just noticing when things are fucked up and just wanting to clean them up, not just like judging whoever threw that there, just being like, who cares, whatever. I'm just like, let's just make this a little better. It's a way to do that in life, but it was trippy. Like at one point we left the camp for the first time in like 4 days.
Yeah.
We went out into some town and we were just like, what the
Felt so weird.
Fuck.
Going to a Rite Aid, I was like, whoa.
What is this?
In like
life?
dusty shorts and Crocs and like algae all over.
It just
me.
felt like not real. I feel.
Yeah.
I understand why so many people just don't feel at home on this planet. Like we were just,
Yeah.
you know, it might sound so fucking lame for me to associate that with like a 5-day camping trip, but like, well, for real though, like we're so disconnected that like. No wonder we treat each other like shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We're not listening. We're not slowing down. We're not like. sleeping outside enough, that kind of fucking shit.
Or
Simple.
like even what's around you, like you're saying, like you walk by a piece of trash, you're like, well, I walk by this all the time. I'll just pick it up. Like,
Yeah.
I have to walk to it to go wherever I want to go. Like,
Yeah.
Why would I leave it there? Yeah.
Mm.
Spirit of the Quarry.
Spirit of the Quarry has deeply entered all of us.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Deep.
Yeah, seeing people take Molly for the first time, I think we all agree on this, makes it feel like you took it for the first time.
Yeah.
And it also just feels like I just really helped this person's life.
Yeah.
Like, wow, like, because we had such clean stuff, like just clean, good, and I appreciate that we just take 100 milligrams. Like, we do not go crazy. We're not like, me and Joey have made the mistake before. Like, let's double it up. Am I feeling it yet?
How dumb
and
was that?
it just, things start moving so fast you can't enjoy it.
Yeah.
Like the night takes on a mania that like can't be controlled.
And also, if you think about it, when you take a higher dose, the come down's harder too.
Yes.
And like when you take the
yeah.
milder dose, it felt like it was expanded over like 6-7 hours. Even into the night, it was like I was still tripping. Like,
And the next day.
Yeah.
And
today,
then even today, just like still coasting on that, and you're like, oh, this is how you can integrate that, like.
Yeah.
Because that's what it felt like for me. Like, sometimes I use Molly as like, I need to be shown the light so I can, like, this was more like an integration of the stuff we've been doing this summer and this film and, like, our relationship stuff. Like, just felt like you see why this stuff gets used for therapy. And, like, fucking Jesus Christ. I wish, and it soon will happen, that it'll be legal and people can just be like, hey, I'm having issues with my fucking husband, and you just go and like some guy gives you some Molly.
Or just my like my life, or like just being appreciative of my, like, I feel like the new people also, and all of us included too, like you saw, like there was just they were already coming with such pure spirit, but it's like they were like polished or something, like when they were leaving. It felt so good. Like it made my trip so much better to see them so happy.
Mm-hmm.
And also, like, they imparted wisdom onto me too, like just in terms of perspective, like just being with everybody and like all of us too. Like sometimes we trip 111, sometimes it's a little like low energy, sometimes it's a little mucky, and like this one just felt a lot more like like accumulation of like
I know that I still have those trips in my future, and they're useful too.
Yeah.
But it's nice to have one that's just pure joy.
One for the books.
Yeah. But I mean, 111. We still talk about that all the time.
I know.
Like, that was just like a wild night. That like too many people in a small place. And
what's the shirt I got from Fat Albert? It's like no trips are bad. There are no bad trips.
You're just a little bitch.
That's good.
Yeah, Joey bought that shirt.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, felt like good integration for sure. Still kind of harsh and confrontational times for people, so the reprieve and the relief feels much needed, underrated.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm hearing like more people like kind of like getting out of like pandemic mode and like realize like what that was like for all of us. And even I was reflecting with Joey, I was like, man, that was just a crazy like few years,
Yeah.
Like, we were going crazy. We were doing a lot of stuff that like I don't want to make habitual in my life.
Yeah.
And we
literally.
were just being a little crazy. And I was just like, I hope your parents like us and understand us and everything. Like, we still haven't met your parents.
I know. That was what a cool thing about them all. I was like, yeah, I'm excited. Like, you guys got to come down. Got to come meet the fam. It's been too long.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was really cool. I just feel like this trip opened a lot of doors, and again, like, expand upon us feeling so good now. Like, when we all come together and we're feeling good, like, it's pretty incredible. It's like, and then everybody else feels good, and then it just raises the vibe to be like.
Well, every time you do this kind of stuff with people, you kind of expand your family, and what could feel better than that is like.
Yeah. So true.
Yeah, even if you don't see each other all the time, that you got like people out there that you care about and care about you.
Yeah, it feels good too to like reinvigorate like the space camp thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We were a little butthurt for a second, as you heard at the end of the last podcast.
Yeah.
But now it's just like, cool, we're rebuilding this thing brick by brick, and we'll do it in small ways, and we'll definitely blow it
It's
out.
gonna be better.
Well, we're just not going to give our event an event that we care about to anyone, and it's going to be something that we continue to do because it's something that's important to us, and for us, it's like really very simple, and it's like, how do we keep simplifying it? You know, the like accessibility and a portion of like how people, because like the idea for Space Camp has been like, yeah, this is for people who maybe don't have that supportive community to do mushrooms with on the weekend or whatever it is, like the people who need something, and we don't need a lot in order to offer that, you know.
No, and it's like doing it like this is way less stress on you because like you're the one that really pays the price for like when we're hosting, and like we're responsible for accommodations and meals and bathrooms and ceremonies and just the vibe being good and the music being right.
I mean, you guys did kind of.
We did all
that
stuff,
anyways, a little bit, but
like
it was
just felt like
down.
Not a ton of pressure. Yeah. You know, it was just like, these are the things we have to do to keep our campsite alive. But besides that, we didn't really have to offer much.
Yeah, and it was simple. Like actually, all the work kind of got deferred to me and Sean. We were doing wood.
Totally, put the boys to work.
Yeah, well,
the way it should be.
We were in our training, so it's
were.
fine. It was part of the training. Yep. If you listen to Boys Club, you know that we've laid down a challenge to Matt and Shane's secret podcast.
Lightly.
We got to build up our shit more.
Yeah, but we have been training. We have been fucking hoop-de-doo.
Yeah.
I did shut out a couple people these past couple weeks.
No, you made me proud. I was like, all right, we're doing it right.
We're doing it.
Well, I made Mare proud when I played you guys in Around the World, and I won. After doing no training.
No training, and we were on like day 4.
We don't talk about that.
That was part of our training.
Yeah, that was part of our training.
It keeps us humble.
Yeah, it does. Because we were killing it too hard. We're like, you know what? We gotta just reel it back.
Oh my God. Basketball's the best.
Yeah.
Like running around and playing with your friends and stuff.
Frisbee.
We
had some great chucks on Molly.
You can't miss.
Nope.
You can't miss when you're on that stuff.
Oh, no. You're so in tune with your body. No, but actually, like, even when we were running, like, back and forth, like, I, like, ran and jumped off a rock, and it just all felt like...
Yeah. Just perfect.
I was like, this is awesome.
Yeah.
Sorry, I had a sneeze that turned into a yawn.
That's the latest news from around our bend.
We're recovering.
Yeah, I definitely still need some more sleeps. Some more Z's in the back of the trunk.
Yeah, I'm going to get some Z's.
Yeah.
I got to go back to Florida tomorrow.
Damn, dude.
So sad.
Well, this was a wild little 3-week, 4-week thing, I think. We got most of this movie. It makes me sad to stop making it, so we're just gonna keep it going for a little bit.
For sure.
And
for sure.
Yeah, we'll hopefully launch like a fundraiser or something like that. If people are interested in seeing this thing,
definitely
can help us get it made.
Billy bum.
Definitely.
Right now we're making it on credit cards, which is good. We have to build our credit, I guess.
Cash the money to the Landfill.
Yeah, it should be crowdsourced.
Yeah.
Project.
Yeah, totally.
We've been doing it budget though. We've been roughing it.
Definitely the cheapest we could make a movie.
Yeah, no, it's been fine.
3 people in one car with like a vat of lentil salad. That's all you need, really.
Literally, a little watery hummus.
Yeah,
a couple edibles.
Yeah, exactly. Edibles have been critical to this whole fucking thing. I want to honor those things. Like,
those things
fuck,
blessings.
Man. When because I'm used to just taking like 15 milligrams just to to sleep, not to be stoned out of my mind. But like we did a couple nights out there, just getting
obliterated,
so stoned.
I don't even know how much you took.
Like I was drunk. I was
drunk.
I was drunk on edibles, and I didn't even because usually when I do edibles, I just go to bed or just watching a movie or something. And this we were like creeping around and
bumping into each other.
I banged the shit out of my forehead.
Oh my God!
I literally, it was so bad.
We were as high as like you could be, and like Cass is like tries to get something out of the car and just lunges forward for it and just knocked herself out. She's just like laying back like
I heard like Cass, and I was like, guys, and then I heard nothing, and I was like, they're probably all right.
Yeah, we were okay.
Yeah, oh my God.
I was like, it just hurts. Like I'm conscious, you know. I didn't lose consciousness.
I mean, I know I would hear another second or third or fourth Cass or something if it was really
She's
bad.
like, I'm okay. I'm just
okay.
a little
I'm a little tired.
I'm just a little confused.
I'm just gonna go to sleep for a little bit right here.
I'm feeling pretty tired tonight.
Unexpectedly hitting your head is like the fucking most embarrassing and worst and shocking thing.
Mare got her head hit.
You did? Oh. Mare took a fucking frisbee to the dome piece.
To the dome piece. Not by me, thank God. But that
you
was
hit me
so
in the head
funny.
with a football.
I did hit you in the head with the football. I was so
head hunting.
I was meant to be at your butt. Did hit you in the head. Luckily, it was softball. Softball. Luckily, you weren't hurt either.
Oh shit.
That was.
She hasn't
really
been the
funny,
same since, though.
She's been slurring her words.
She's been better.
She's been better.
We just need to dumb Mare down to our level. We're in
keep hitting her
the
on the
slow
head with a
process
pan.
of
Just dumb her down until she's finally happy. Plants are nice. You ever thought about plants?
Yo, fucking, you know, it was a crazy moment for me. We're like about to, like everyone had their doses in their hand, and Cairo's like torching a dab. He's like, Sean, you're up. And I'm like, all right. And I always know everyone's looking at me, and I'm the Aquaman, so I'm like, I'll rip this motherfucker.
Aquaman.
Like, you know, I'm like, and I take the biggest cloud ever and let it out, and I'm like, in like a 5-minute panic attack. Like,
Yeah,
I'm like, oh no, what did I do? Because I was already on acid, and I'm like, what did I do? I can't even move this Molly up
so
to my mouth.
cute
right
when
now.
Sean starts to resist
I know.
what's happening.
I know. It's
Dab
just
before Molly was the best shit of my life. That's like
Yeah.
the only way I want to come up on Molly
Me
every
too.
time.
Me too.
Dabbed out.
Yeah.
I skipped it at that moment, but it was nice later in the Molly trip.
oh my god.
I wish I
those
got
things.
high though off the edibles, but it did get me a lot. It is funny because you don't ever really look high. Like no matter how many shits we take or do, like you don't really ever look that high.
Because I always am.
Yeah.
You know what I mean, I'm always stoned.
But when you are Gonzo,
bro.
you do. I'm like, oh, he's Sean Zombie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I gotta get the edibles from you guys. I forgot I left mine with you.
Yeah, we have them.
Oh, yeah.
We put them in the fridge. They're very strong.
Yeah.
I was like, what's the levels here? He's like, oh, those Rice Krispie treats are aggressive. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, that's all he said.
He said aggressive.
Aggressive.
I thought he
Yeah.
said.
He said it's aggressive dose.
Yeah.
It's a good way to
He
describe
didn't.
stuff.
He didn't.
Oh, I thought he had another word. I'm trying to grab it. Reckless.
Oh, a reckless.
Oh,
I think he
yeah.
said reckless.
Reckless
A
dose. And then
reckless,
the step below it was the aggressive dose.
Yeah, yeah. He ate a fucking Oreo on the 17-hour drive up at hour
I thought
10.
you did too.
On
What?
the way back, we did.
On the way back. That's why we were doing.
Yeah,
the
but I was
bing, bing, bing,
driving.
bum. Yeah.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
okay, cool.
Yeah.
Well, actually, no. I ate an edible and then started driving.
Joey ate a fucking. We went into a gas station and he ate a turkey sandwich, and I was like, "You're blazed, bro."
needed
He's like,
that.
"I'll drive."
I needed.
I know for like the first 5 minutes.
I was
he
so hungry though.
So slow.
Well, I was like, I'm gonna drive, and I literally was like, kind of like, we didn't really eat much when we left, and I was like, I'm kind of lightheaded, and I was like, I need a turkey sandwich with Swiss cheese on a white bun from a gas station for $2.69.
It's a good price, but
Yeah,
you
it
almost got to
was.
be suspicious of that price these days.
But
like,
turkey, it's
hey,
hard to fuck
inflation
up.
hasn't hit this turkey, or what's going on?
I wouldn't eat chicken.
What is this? They're like, "Oh, that's cat food, huh?"
Yeah. We did eat a little cat food on this trip. That was good. Surprisingly good, the gravy. But yeah, but
Fancy feast.
Kyra ate hour 10. He ate an Oreo and then had to cut his trip short 2 hours before he reached us.
Yeah, I mean, of course, if you're eating those edibles, it's going to be hard to keep trucking.
Keep it up.
Yeah. But, I mean, look, dude, when that edible hit me, I'm not even kidding you, I had, like, 5 minutes of just beating myself up before I felt incredible, and I was like, let's take this. But, like,
Yeah.
5
the
minutes.
dab, yeah.
Yeah, I was like, I ruined it. I ruined this time because, like, I'm like a person that conjured people to come here, and
Now
I'm
you're high
about
as
to have to
fuck.
go into the tent and say I'm good for a while, and I'm gonna miss the dose.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And like,
Aw, Sean.
I
don't
was
think you would
really-
ever
As
do
soon as
that,
you did
though.
it, I was like, Sean's about to forget what we're even doing.
I
Yeah.
did. I was.
and then
like,
you,
You
just
guys all
sat
started
there,
talking,
You just
and I
sat
was
there
like-
like this. You're like,
It's so funny. It's so funny.
yeah.
But
More to come.
many homies.
Yeah.
Lots of love.
Mad love to Maddie and Griff,
Yep.
and Lacey and her kids, and Ari,
Yep.
and who else?
Cairo.
Chris, Erica.
Yeah.
Erica and Chris.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Erica and Chris. Oh, Uncle Jeffy. Love you,
Yup.
Uncle Jeffy.
Shout out
Yeah.
to him.
Yeah.
Shout out to Mona Lisa and Rogue and all the
Yep.
other characters. and-
George.
Yeah,
George.
and George. Shout
Greg.
out to us and making this movie, which we
So much
are
fun.
embodying the spirit of the Wook to bring this to you.
Mhm.
Like, we know what this lifestyle's all about,
Yeah.
baby.
You have to become a Wook to realize that the Wook is inside you, and to
Mhm.
realize that you want a Wook inside of you.
Yeah, you do, you do, physically and metaphysically.
Yeah, but but yeah, it's
There's a little Wook homunculus inside of you
Yeah.
that wants to express itself, and
Yeah.
we beat it down with jobs and car payments and fucking insanity and all this stuff. But like, there's a homunculus inside of you
Yeah.
that wants to just be in the woods
Hug
and
the
fucking
homunculus.
yeah, and just grow dreads and just say fuck it all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's where we're headed. Cool. All right, thanks y'all. Please support us. What is it? Patreon.com/churchofchill.
Yeah, we should put the link for my readings in the thing.
Boys
That's
Club.
that's been the description of all
We're gonna
these.
get down and dirty for Boys Club.
Boys
soon.
Club 5
Yeah.
available now on patreon.com/churchofchill. See you soon, y'all.
Aloha.